We back at T.
Got motherfucking 600 boy LA, man. LA Capone, man. Get it to him, man.
I remember watching this back in the day when it damn near first came out. R.I.P. to Zach. For this video, we're gonna go into the lives, into a perspective of the young and late great L.A. Capone and Rondonumba9. Free Rondo, free CeeDa. You hear me though? This is how the street turned into the rap game.
What's the two boys, man?
Rondonumba9, man. Number 9 shooter here.
What's good, man?
Alright, good.
You just say that, man. What's the name of that new mixtape that just dropped that everybody going crazy for, man?
Steve Drive, man. Motherfuckers going crazy for that shit, man. You know? That shit on live mixtapes. DJ Victorious hosted. Got 14 songs. 6 double O on shooters on my squad on and then all type of shit. We don't fuck around featuring Lil Durk.
Shout out to 6 double O, boy.
Okay. Turn it up.
You should have turned back in the day.
Shit, a lot of motherfuckers, you turn it up, man.
Hey, make sure y'all go watch that motherfucking 6 double O. Feature me, E-Day, number 9, F-Dot.
So, man, how did y'all come about? Because the last time
See, back in the day, they didn't sound like they were saying too much, but now, goddamn, 8 years later, damn near 10 years later, actually, I'm like, hold on, they sound like they actually knew what they were talking about. They know, like, oh, yeah, I don't know when this is coming out, I don't know this. They knew where their shit was at. They knew how many songs was on their shit. They knew who goddamn helped them produce it. You hear me though? They knew a lot of technical shit that you need to know about this your own craft. So this how you know they wasn't stupid. We just get lost in the illusion that this violent and this poverty shit is all we got. And come to find out, man, we got a long life to live outside of the hood. And this is what I say. Zacktv was ahead of his time. He was in the future. He was from the future. Because if you go into some of that stuff that he was talking about later on down the line before his passing, then you started to understand where his mind was actually traveling to in the time that he knew that or felt like he was finna die at the time of his untimely demise. But with these gentlemen, with these young men, we all were ahead of our time. This was supposed to be the Lil Durk and King Von. These was the first original Lil Durk and King Von. Because Chief Keef was already kind of like around too. So they was going to be damn near right after Chief Keef. And this was going to goddamn have things transition a different way. But this is why I say, in my last video, you got to check it out. You got to, everything gonna correlate together. A lot of people didn't want these two young dudes, L.A. Capone and Rondo. They didn't want them to blow up like Chief Keef blew up and before them. So in return, they didn't give them as much support as they quote unquote said they did. Because of young L.A. and young Rondo got to fend for themselves to get to and from studio sessions and shit, but you already got 600 Breezy or got E-Day and you got a couple other older dudes that's around, and there's no way in hell certain shit, situations should happen, especially after y'all kind of go viral and get this more clout, as they saying now. So as they began to get more clout, they should have got more strategic about actually supporting the ones that was going to actually get them out. But like I said, no, they didn't want LA Capone and Rondo to be the next Chief Keef and Glow Gang, even though they was going to bring them with them. But no, they wanted to be at the forefront. I'm not going to say who or say no names, but it's people that's within the BDs that did not want goddamn LA Capone and Rondo to be ahead of them.
Zacktv was in the studio with Ethan and shit downtown. It was some months
RP
back in
E-Day,
March.
man.
He was working on that 600 track. So how did it come about y'all fixing on that shit, man?
Man, shit, we just 600. You know, man, he won't be right if you ain't had no real niggas on that show. That's why that shit doing numbers. So, bro, know what time it was. We finna come at the real savages with that shit. We finna turn up.
That's what it is, man.
Squad shit, man.
Squad, man. I see the shirt say ATF Coke Boys, man.
Oh, yeah, squad. Squad shit, all squad shit. Fuck French, all French is just up here. We just fuck with them. You know, we just up here fuck with French. New video comes soon, shout out, bro. Shout out to Durk, man. That was Anthem remix with French My Time. You know, all of that shit. AZ shot that shit. Fuck with motherfuckers, man.
This around Zacktv, one of his first interviews. In the beginning stage of him becoming to be who he gonna be.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ellie, how long you been in this rap shit, man? How long you been spinning these bars, man?
Shit, I've been knowing how to rap, but shit, motherfucker started rapping like, I say 2 years ago or something, 2-3 years ago.
What about you, Rondo?
I started rapping like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, y'all niggas spin this flame like that.
I started rapping. I wasn't even know no real shit. I rap, man. I was on some, you know, I was just a block nigga and motherfuckers knew me already, so I just started rapping and shit. Then.
That's what I'm saying, like, rapping ain't really nothing. It's like picking up a bike and learning how to ride a bike, and then learning how to pop a wheelie, and then learning how to ride with no hand, and then learning how to pop a curb and do different little shit or whatever type of trick. It ain't really nothing that majority of us in the urban community can pick up and do. Because we already had this natural rhythm with us anyway, so it's not hard for us to catch that rhythm. And once you catch that rhythm within your life, that's when certain things start to happen more fluently than others, because you own your natural rhythm and you own your natural vibration that you need to actually be on. Just like that, 2 years. It's always, they always say 1, 2 years, 3 years. Or shit, I've been rapping shit since I was little. But how long you been taking serious shit? About 1 or 2 years? It's all it takes is 1 or 2 years to actually hone in on something. That's not a lot of time. But we think in our mind it's nothing outside of something after we complete it, or we think it's gonna take too long to get there. Because I'm pretty sure there are people that rap longer than 2 years and then get a lot of notoriety. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if we just put our mind towards something that you're good at and indulge in that activity for 1 or 2 or 3 to 5 years, or even trying to change up how you're doing things when you're doing it. So one thing that they changed up is that they started to try to do something more recreational to be able to hopefully make some type of financial benefit from it. But the thing that they didn't do, they didn't start to think of themselves as more valuable. So even if we start to accumulate notoriety and wealth and shit like that, we still don't look at ourselves as more valuable. A lot of us don't until we get to a certain point or plateau where we feel, okay, yeah, now I gotta be more secure. But if we, from the moment where things start to go a little bit right, you gotta say, okay, now I gotta start living my life right, because I know once things pop off, goddamn, I want to be able to be in my best condition for any situation that might come in front of me. And they wasn't prepared for that. And know why? Because the older people that was above them. Look, he had an OTF shirt on. So all of them dudes is older than them. So how is that these dudes wasn't more or less protected and not so easily touched? Because these, like I said, they were supposed to be right behind Chief Keef. That's a fact. They were supposed to be right behind Chief Keef. This was going to be the Von and Durk before Von and Durk. And this is why I say once people are dead, other people can take on the persona of other dead people that they known, because who is there to vouch for the persona that you taking on? That person definitely ain't here, so nobody.
I just got a lot of views, so I was like, damn, I'm gonna start fucking with this shit.
Oh, hold on.
And then I started fucking with that shit. I was like, shit,
Motherfuckers don't fuck with real niggas.
Right, motherfuckers don't fuck with real niggas regardless. That's why fufu niggas get exposed, real talk. Fufu niggas get exposed in this rap shit too, man. Don't just think you can rap it there. You can just rap about fufu shit or false shit. You can't do that. Don't rap about, look, that's why a lot of niggas wanna rap, cause they just get try to put so much fufu shit in their words and shit, in their words that never happened. You hear me?
Hey, you heard I say that new shit. I say, if he can't break bread, he fake. I had one more buck on my plate.
It was me and bro
was in the stove and both of us
got 50 cent cake. You heard me?
Say, damn, what the fuck you come up with? How the fuck you come up with that type of shit? Cause that shit was true, man. I feel that shit, man. That shit really happened, kid.
That's real shit. That's real shit.
RP LA, man. You hear me though? Nigga down to sell 50 cent cakes at the store no more. But nigga, if you ain't never broke a couple bucks with your homie at the store back in the day, man, and I'm talking about 08, 07, 09 type shit. You hear me though? Like, and you a millennial, and that's some shit that you want to live. And that's not even something that we should be trying to live. Because at the end of the day, like I said, once he said he's seen the views and shit like that, so that should let him know that you got a lot of people that are already looking after you, or not looking after you, but a lot of people that are already looking at you, rather. So a lot of people already taking liking into you, so you know what I mean? In return, you're going to have other people even around you be more envious or more jealous of the situation or clout that you getting in that they ain't getting at the time. But they ain't support them like they need to support them, man. And they say, oh, everybody in Chicago let niggas do whatever they want to. No, that's not how it go, man. Motherfuckers do in Chicago what the other niggas gonna let them do. Facts.
Real shit. I did that so broke because I fuck with her. Yeah, right. I fuck with Bonjour. All the other shit, I don't know what's up with that, but hey, I did this shit with a lot of motherfuckers. Like motherfuckers that out of town, I be getting features, all type of shit.
Hey, shout out to her too. I got to do shit, couple Zulu too. Yeah. Features on nigga Lil Herb, man.
Shout out to her, L&B, Lil Pippi, man. Hey, I gotta
see, these niggas was gonna do what Lil Durk and King Von did times 10. These are niggas was gonna actually take care of where they came from if they would have made it to where Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and King Von was at. They would have did 10 times as much as more to just support their neighborhood and where they came from, because they was too authentic for their time. They was ahead of their time. And Rondo just put out a post saying it's crazy how I'm sitting in here and everybody else out there, and the whole time it really ain't even how it goddamn was said to be, basically. But he said it's all good, I'm taking it on the chin and I'm goddamn moving forward. Cause he's a stand-up nigga. That's what he mean. That's what I mean. Like, he see with the shit that niggas say they doing out there that they ain't did, or the shit that they say they doing for certain niggas, but they really ain't doing shit for the niggas that they didn't built them bridges to the trenches with. This is why a lot of niggas can't go back to the trenches for different reasons, because they burnt them bridges with the niggas that they was supposed to let come across the bridge.
say this, man. Motherfucker don't be saying this enough. I be at the crib, I be watching
Free Rondo, you hear me? RP LA.
Free D Rose, man. Free D Rose, man.
Squad shit, man.
Wow, that's what's up.
Free D-Roll, man.
Free bro, man. That was Broski, you know?
Real ass savage.
Niggas know how that shit go with that shit, you hear me? Motherfuckers know what's up, you hear me? Motherfuckers don't fuck around. Motherfuckers really do this street shit, you hear me? We don't fuck around with, ain't no foo-foo shit in a motherfucker. We don't do that shit. We gonna get money and continue to be real niggas. If a nigga try to run up on us, we gonna lay his ass down just like that. You hear me?
Just like that, kid.
Free the guys though, free all the guys, man. Motherfuckers be rapping about, we don't be lying about this shit. Motherfuckers really out here this shit, you hear me? This really...
See, that's what I say. As the time went on, and Zach made a relationship with Rondo and a little bit of LA before LA was passing, he was able to not only give them a platform to continue to mature through, but he was giving them their own platform to so the world could see. And for the most part, he probably wasn't even charging most of these people when he doing these interviews at a particular time. Like we see a lot of interviewers do now. They so particular about who they interview, and if you hear me though, and they try to just interview who they feel gonna bring a lot of buzz or a lot of attention, or anybody that got their own little stigma in the media or some shit like that.
The field, man, we don't do none of that shit, man. We don't fuck around, man.
We don't fuck around.
Motherfucker get to the top, motherfucker gonna see the real niggas, man. Real shit. We got a lot of new shit coming soon, man. A lot of new shit. See, I've been just striking shit myself, Manifest Star, just collabing with all type of motherfuckers and shit. Like, real, like, motherfuckers that's art.
That's exactly what he did, no lie. Like I say, RP, LA, free Rondo. This is the typical statistic of how you can end up, man. You end up like the dude on the left, LA, or you can end up like the dude on the right, Rondo. And you see how narrow that road is right there, going outside of there? A lot of people that do eventually make it through that narrow lane, they don't look back at the people that was like Rondo in LA and say, damn, y'all was supposed to be the ones that opened this door and we was just supposed to go through. So if they would have put more support into the younger ones at the beginning, more of them would have made it out of that narrow path. But since certain sacrifices was made early on, less people unfortunately get to make it through the narrow passage at the end of the day. So that's the message. Zach had to Zach got the time and the ability to not only show us the future, but in the presence of the now, which was 10 years ago. He was showing us what the results of a lot of things was gonna be, how they is now, because a lot of shit that we seen or heard for these 4 segments I done made, it just correlates to a lot of the shit, and a lot of the shit that we done came to find out to be true about the rap game, and a lot of niggas in it coming here in 2022. This is why I say Zach was already in the future. Zach was ahead of his time, man, and it's been real. TV, let's start from the start now, and we out.